Hey everybody. So today we're going to talk about a little more serious, I guess, of a subject. We're going to talk about grief. I know a lot of people in my life that are going through some level of grief right now. And I mean grief not in the sense that necessarily you have had the passing or death of someone, although that of course is the first thing that everyone comes to mind when they hear grief. But grief is a loss. So that can be, a loss of family, friends, relationships, loved ones, deaths, separations, divorces, illnesses, the distance, even sometimes distance from someone that you normally get to see. All of those things you can grieve over, and that's perfectly acceptable. For me right now, I experienced some grief over quitting my job. And hey, I'm dog sitting. So I wanted to talk about grief, and I want you to think about it in maybe a way that you hadn't considered before. Because grief only happens when you have a connection with something. When it's literally, I like to say grief is love flipped on its head. I know there's a Bible verse or something that says something to that effect as well. So if you're, of like a Christian faith, you probably know that verse. But I want you to think about that. Without love, there is not grief. You do not feel bad, sorry, sad, hurt, wounded, angry, all of those messy things, those messy feelings that we have whenever we're grieving someone or something, unless you first loved that someone or something. So honoring that love by grieving it is not a bad thing. It is okay to let yourself grieve, because you deserve that time to honor and respect the amount of love that you had or have or will continue to have, and the amount of time that it takes for someone to get through those phases is different for everybody. So please remember, when you're grieving and when you see other people grieving, it's okay if they're not over it. It just means that they loved that hard. What else does Amy know?